going on, hobby family? It is your boy K-Dub. This is K-Dub's High Five, 5 rapid fire questions with your favorite hobby faces. And we are officially talking to a YouTube OG. It's my good friend Jake. He is Legends Never Die. He's also the commissioner of the Sports Card, YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. Great follow, Legends Never Die on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. How you doing today, man?
Doing fantastic, man. Excited to be here. This should be a lot of fun.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it. So the premise of it is I got 5 questions, all hobby related. I'm gonna throw them at you one right after another. Ready to take on the high five?
I'm ready, man.
All right, man. Question one. Kind of walk me through how Legends Never Die came to be. Legends Never Die, the YouTube channel, also on Instagram. How'd you come up with kind of who you are on the hobby social media?
Yeah, so I started my channel because I just wanted to share my collection and kind of document it for myself. I had watched Mike Baseball Collector and Bill, the Hall of Fame collector, a lot before I jumped in because I'm a big Hall of Fame autograph guy. And what actually started it, my first video, I kind of decided to do it because I'd spent the most money I ever had on a card. And if it wasn't in that box, I wanted it on video. But that was me opening one of the items. I've got it behind me. It's going to be related to one of your other questions.
Sure.
But that's how I started. And my channel was originally The Ticket Leprechaun
Okay.
because I worked for 7 years professionally in baseball, and that was my title.
Okay.
And when I got out of baseball, I decided to change the YouTube name to Legends Never Die because I'm a big Sandlot fan, big Sandlot collector. And then it kind of tied in with what I say at the beginning of each one of my videos. Not only do I want to share my collection, but I want to share my faith as well. So I open each one of my videos with Legends Never Die, and neither will you if you know Jesus. So it was just the perfect fit for me.
Well, no, and I mean that's one thing I've always appreciated about your channel. Watching your videos is that you're unashamed of who you are in the hobby, but also unashamed of who you are in Jesus. So very very cool, man. I got a lot of respect for that. Uh, as far as you kind of mentioned being in baseball for 7 years, what came first, the hobby or the baseball work?
Hobby.
The hobby.
I
Okay.
Yeah, I started collecting at 9 years old, thanks to my maternal grandmother, believe it or not.
Okay.
She collected, and when I was 9 and my brother was 6, she took her collection, split it between the two of us, and that's how I got started and never took a break.
Okay. Okay. Well, that leads us kind of into the second question here. Sounds like grandmama was a little bit of the influence, but when you think about like collecting for you, would you credit your grandma as kind of the main influence, and then who else influenced you when it comes to your card collecting?
Yeah, she was definitely first, to kick everything off.
Hmm.
And then I had two cousins, one on either side, one on my mom's side, one on my dad's side, that both collected, that were both almost exactly 10 years older than me.
Okay.
So it was like big brothers in the
Yes.
hobby.
Yes.
And they were very different. One of them opened packs, and that was his thing. And the other guy was already geared towards vintage, back in around the late 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
So I kind of got to see both perspectives, and
Yeah.
I went from one to the other. So kind of cool.
Oh, now when you think about kind of your YouTube journey, kind of who would you credit as some of your influence as far as getting your channel going, kind of going the direction of your videos?
Man, definitely those same two guys. The two that I first started watching,
Okay.
Mike, baseball collector, and Bill, over at Bill's Hall of Fame autographs.
For sure.
Because around the time I started YouTube, I was exclusively almost a basketball collector first.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I'm a big Tar Heel basketball fan. I'm in
Okay.
North Carolina.
Let's
Uh,
go.
and then I was always into the history of the game, and I built a master spreadsheet with a lot of baseball reference research to see who the greats really were by the numbers before I was really jaded in any way towards that around that time. And I got into collecting Hall of Famers and autographs, and that's what those guys did. So,
Well, on when you built that sheet for you, who was on the top of the list?
so I came up with a system where I call it, there's the inner sanctum of the Hall of Fame, where
Okay.
there's like an automatic qualifier. You hit 500 homers, you hit 3,000 hits, you're in there.
Got
Um, or you hit the secondary qualifiers of, say, the 2,500 hits and 400 homers. You should be a Hall of Famer too.
Okay.
Um, So it was a lot of fun compiling that and forming my own Hall of Fame opinions through that process.
Oh, and do your Hall of Fame opinions correlate with current Hall of Fame opinions, or are you very different from that?
Some yes, some no.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
the current class that just got in,
Mm.
Beltre, slam dunk. I would have voted for him, 3,000 hit guy. I wouldn't have voted for Helton, but he's so close. I'm not upset at all that he got
Yeah.
in. That's perfectly fine. And then Mauer is the first of the trio of catchers with him, Posey, and Molina that I think are going to redefine what a Hall of Fame catcher is. So that was interesting to see him get in on his first ballot.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. Oh, well, great, man. Well, I have talked to Mike on the high five before. So if any of you guys are interested in checking out his stuff, great stuff over at Bench Clear Media. Also, he's been a guest on the high five. All right. I'm excited now because you kind of gave me a little a preview of maybe this was the answer to this question. But when you think about the Grail item for you, when it comes to your collecting, the card you've always wanted, or maybe you got and you'll never let go, what card is that and why?
Okay, I'm gonna cheat a little bit. I'm gonna walk you through the history of the grails that I've acquired.
I love it. I love history. That's what I do in my classroom. So let's go.
Perfect. So I mentioned I was a basketball collector exclusively first,
Okay.
and I think you're about the same age as me, maybe a little bit older.
Ouch.
So
Ouch. Ouch. I'm 39.
yeah, we're close.
Okay, cool.
I'll be 33 this year.
Oh no, we're not close then, man. You still got legs. I got no legs.
Well, I know you're a basketball guy, so you'll know this card and
Okay.
appreciate it. So this was my first one, being a big basketball guy, being a Tar Heel fan, but
I already know. I mean, you don't have to put it up. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, what's it graded? I can't see the grade.
it's a 5. It's a
5.
5.
Oh my gosh.
So
Oh, hey,
that's my Jordan rookie.
tell me how you got it, man. I gotta hear it. I gotta hear the story.
Yeah, so my first national was 2013, the year before I moved down here to start working in baseball. And I went with my brother, a friend of mine, and one of my cousins that I mentioned. His name's Tommy.
Okay.
And the Jordan rookie was his Grail card.
Hmm.
He bought that national. Well, a couple years later, he decided that he wanted to sell everything and pursue putting together the monster, the 226 set.
Okay.
And he knew this was one of my Grail cards. And as a broke college kid, he let me make payments on it to
Oh
buy
my.
it for $400.
What?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Those were the days.
Yeah.
Ah,
So
beautiful.
that was the first one. Now,
Okay.
after that, as I kind of transitioned from the basketball stuff and then moving towards Hall of Fame baseball stuff, I got into autographs. So
Okay.
same guy, same reasoning. There's my Jordan autograph.
Oh, look, dude, you are just like making me sweat with these rail cards right now. Just so you know. Oh my gosh, that's it. Okay.
And then UNC uniform for me, I love it.
Oh my god. What year is it? Is that Upper Deck? What year?
That's Upper Deck 09-10 UD North Carolina basketball.
Okay.
That was also a turning point for me. I sold everything that I had pulled out of packs for forever as a kid to
Yeah.
pursue that autograph set.
Okay.
And I didn't open packs or boxes after that.
Oh wow. So you
Yeah.
pulled that card?
No, I sold things so that I could buy it.
Oh, got it. Okay. Got it. Okay. Oh man. All right. Okay.
And so then I make the transition to baseball. Well,
Mm.
I mentioned Sandlot. It's my favorite movie ever.
Mm.
My maternal grandmother, it was one of 2 movies she had. That's probably how it became my favorite. And in that movie, the main player that's idolized. And the video that I started YouTube with was me unboxing my Babe Ruth.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And that's showing up. That's better.
There it is, right there. Oh yeah, you can see it.
Yeah.
What
So
card is that?
it's a cut autograph on a Perez Steel postcard.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Mhm.
So it's someone created that card, or did a company make that card?
Someone created it. So
Okay.
those Perez Steel postcards were really popular to get signed through the mail and in person in the 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And for the guys that were already deceased at that point, people started taking cut autographs that may have been ugly or a bad cut or whatever,
Yeah.
and putting them on these Perez Steel postcards.
Okay. And then they would get them authenticated. Oh wow. Oh.
Right.
So you go Jordan rookie
Mhm.
to Jordan autograph to Babe Ruth autograph. Like, what else do you do with your collection after that?
Well, the next item that I wanted, I got at the National 2 years ago in Atlantic City. This baseball Hall of Famer, a lot of people have a negative opinion of him. He's actually right over there. Uh, but yeah,
Okay.
he's hard to see. He's hidden.
Okay.
Uh, but there's a book written about him called Ty Cobb, A Terrible Beauty, and it
Okay.
it it debunks a lot of the misconceptions about Cobb.
Hmm.
But I learned through that, I already loved him as a player, but I learned through that that he had ties to the Appalachian Mountains in North Carolina. Uh, One of
Got it.
his sets of grandparents lived in Murphy, which is
Hmm.
like 40 minutes from where I'm from.
Okay.
So the Ty Cobb autograph became what I wanted next. And this is
Oh,
my
wow.
Ty Cobb autograph check.
That's so cool. Oh, I love the diversity in your Grail stuff, man. It's like you got a Jordan rookie, Jordan auto, then you got the Babe Ruth postcard, then you got the Ty. I mean, it's just you have a great variety in your stuff that you collect. It's really cool.
Thank you. And
You
that
don't get pigeonholed into one area of the hobby, man. I mean, you really have a real diverse collection of Grails there, so that's pretty sweet.
and as far as what's next, um, saving. Uh, I started to build the monster myself, the T206 set,
Okay.
because the cousin that I mentioned, Tommy, who
Yeah.
decided to pursue it, he did. And about a year ago, he decided he wanted to move it, and I was able to acquire it
Oh,
uh,
wow. On payments again?
on payments again. And so he had about 70 or so T206s, lots of them Hall of Famers, like these Mathewson white cap and dark cap,
Wow. Wow.
some rare backs, an unopened cigarette pack of Piedmont that I was able to get from him. But now the next grail is I want the green background Cobb. I really, really want the green background
Well,
Cobb.
yeah, especially now that you got it's a part of your PC for sure. So,
Right.
man, I mean, those cards that you hold, man, those are pieces of history. And I think
Mm,
that's the coolest thing for me when I get to hold a card that's over 100 years old
mm.
is this is a part of history. This isn't just a sports card. This is a part of history. So, I commend you, man. That is a daunting task that you are taking on, but, if anyone could do it after what you just showed me, I think you can do it. So, as long as they got payment plans, you're going to be in the best of shape, my friend. So,
I've been very, very blessed in that aspect. So yes, hopefully I can continue to take advantage of those things.
oh, well, shoot. Now I'm curious as far as we're talking about the cards and the items. You can rip any box that you want. I don't even know where you're going to go with this right now. I'm so excited. You can rip any product from any point in history of the time of sports cards. What box you're going to open and why?
If I could open a T206 cigarette pack, if that counts, it would
Hmm,
be that.
okay.
The monster is just so iconic. Um, if I had the opportunity to do it in real life, I could never do it because I'd want it to stay sealed.
Yeah. Well, for sure.
But if I have to open it, it would be that.
Okay. Okay. What about a box of cards?
Probably like a 1956 Topps box.
Ooh, good choice.
That's my favorite vintage set.
Mm,
It was the first vintage set I built and completed.
wow.
So I think that would be really fun, and I could keep the box for display.
There you go. There you go. Man, I got so much respect for your collection. I mean, you're a set collector, you're a card collector, you're kind of a niche collector when it comes. I think your collection, I would be really fun to just sit and just see all the stuff that you have. So, if I'm ever in
Thank
North Carolina, I'm looking you up.
Yeah, dude, come to North Carolina, see the baseball room. It'll be fun.
Um, all right, man. Last question. We got the Hall of Fame in progress right now as far as voting goes. You have a video on your channel, which I encourage you guys pop over to Legends Never Die, see how you can take part in the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame. But just kind of walk me through a little bit like how the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame came to be, and then how did you kind of come into this role as the commissioner, the overseer, the guy who tallies all the votes for people?
Mhm. So Mike, baseball collector, started it.
Mm.
And way before he ever even knew who I was.
Hmm.
He started it, and his original plan for it was really just a contest. You know, he thought it was going to be a one-off kind of deal,
Yeah.
and it exploded.
Mhm.
And so come around year two, people were asking, "Hey, you going to do it again?" So he did. Um, Then some of the negativity came in the picture,
For sure.
in
Always.
year 2 and year 3 for him. And I think it really wore on him. In my humble opinion, he accidentally pigeonholed himself into some of those things,
Mhm.
because he built it as a one-time contest, not as a lasting Hall of Fame. Now, that's 2020. That's hindsight. I can't blame him for that. I think he doesn't blame himself.
For sure.
And he knew that if it was going to be long term, that there needed to be some changes, but
Mm.
he felt like it needed to be someone else. Because if it was Mike, people would say, "Oh, Mike's changing it to, help himself do this, that, the other."
Gotcha.
Um, so I was actually the second choice. Nobody knows that. Now they do.
Well, they do.
Um,
It's out there, man. It's in the YouTube world.
but I was thrilled that the first guy turned it down, because then it became an opportunity for me.
For sure.
And Mike said, "Here you go. It's yours. I trust you. You make the decisions."
Yeah.
Um, he had no input on the changes that I made at all. He said, "Here, take it, run with it, make it what it should be."
Mm.
And for me, it really is designed to be a positive thing. That's why I do it. If it wasn't, or if it was intended to build and feed some kind of negative narrative, I wouldn't be involved at all.
Gotcha.
Um,
Gotcha.
for me, it really is about trying to bring people together. I mean, I get to see all the behind the scenes stuff and see all the videos and all the nominations,
No
but
doubt.
every year I discover channels I didn't even know existed.
Mm.
Um, and there are so many little pockets of groups within YouTube,
Yeah.
um, that every year people discover new channels and new people they can build relationships and friendships with within the hobby. And then there is the aspect of, it's a cool way to show some appreciation to your peers that gets a lot of publicity.
For sure.
So that's nice to be able to honor people and make them feel good. So that's the whole goal of it, man.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy it very much because of all those reasons that you said. But I think, you click on that hashtag and I find channels that like you said, I had no idea existed. And it's connecting me to new channels because, I feel like there's, like you said, there's pockets of YouTube sports card hobby. And this is one thing I feel like everyone can get on board for, right? Everyone can nominate channels that they appreciate and value in the sports card world. And no one video is going to be the same because everyone has different likes and dislikes in the sports card world or the sports card content world. So I think it's a neat thing. I think it's a unifying thing, and I really have been encouraged in what I've seen the last couple of years that I've been able to be a part of it, and I look forward to what happens at the end of this year. I mean, it'll be fun to see where it goes.
And I can't wait. The end is my favorite part for a couple reasons. One, that means I'm done watching a couple hundred videos and documenting everything.
For
Uh,
sure,
it's fun, but man, it's a lot of work.
I
Uh,
believe it.
but secondly, the idea that I came up with, where the Hall of Famers do their acceptance speeches, I
Love that.
love.
Yeah,
I love that. That's
yeah.
so much fun, and it's a cool and unique experience for those guys. And every year with the new class, that's a blast. I really enjoy celebrating them in that way.
Yeah. And you don't get to make a video.
No, I don't.
So here's what I'm going to do for my bonus question. Shout out any of those channels that you feel like are deserving of maybe a nod in the Hall of Fame that maybe you haven't heard people talk about or maybe you haven't seen. If you got any of those, or can we not do that as commissioner?
So you may not like my answer. um, this is the same reason I don't cast a ballot. I don't put out a ballot for people to choose people from.
Gotcha.
I really see it as my responsibility to be the caretaker of the YouTube Hall of Fame. And in no way do I want to influence who people choose.
For sure. Right.
Yes, I have the 1 year rule. If that's when you can vote, yes, they have to have been doing content for 3 years. But outside of that, the people decide.
For sure.
I don't want to influence that or impact that, because I don't want anybody pointing fingers at me
I got you. I got
or
you.
anybody else for that. It's the same reason in my recent update video, I didn't say such and such is leading and, such and such is so far behind, because I don't want to impact that. I want people to choose who they want to nominate.
Sure. All right, man. I respect the political response there. And my friend, you cleared the list. We are good. So we can high five, throw it up at the end of high five. You have cleared the list. You have finished the high five. My friends, you can follow Jake. Legends Never Die. I will link his channel as well as his Instagram in the description of this video. Also, feel free to subscribe to the channel Dizzy Dub One. And if you're on X or Twitter at Mr. K-Dub, feel free to hit me up on there. Shout out to our high five endorsers this season, LJ's Card Shop and Midwest Box Breaks. Jake, thanks so much for doing this, man. This was a lot of fun getting I'm kind of like stumbling because I'm still thinking about the Jordan Auto and the Jordan Rookie. I'm not gonna lie to this. So forgive me for that little wonky outro there. So keep collecting, my friend. You're on the right track when it comes to sports card collecting.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
All right, y'all take care. We'll catch you guys next time on the High Five.